Starting off the Rumble at number 1 is going to be Sami Zayn. This is going to be, at least in this scenario, the big test Roman's going to give Sami is to start at number 1 and to win the whole Rumble. And unfortunately for him, number 2 is going to be Gunther. Gunther proves very, very dominant, obviously, against Sami Zayn. However, Sami is able to survive him long enough for number 3 to come in, which would be none other than the New Day's Xavier Woods, one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions. Number 4 would be none other than Cody Rhodes finally making his return. Also a little bit of a callback to being the Elite. If you know, you know. Entering at number 5 would be Santos Escobar. However, he doesn't last too long, as after getting a decent amount of offense and however good of a showing he can get at this point, he gets eliminated by Cody Rhodes. Chad Gable is out next, and just like Santos before him, he does not last long. This time, however, Sami Zayn does the eliminating. Number 7 is Kofi Kingston. 8 is Bobby Lashley. And 9 is none other than the man that returned on Monday Night Raw, at least the time of recording this, Brock Lesnar. Brock immediately goes after Lashley. The two brawl before getting jumped by everybody in the ring. Brock and Bobby both nearly eliminate Kofi and Woods. However, this could be the spot where you could have Kofi try to redeem himself from last year alongside Xavier Woods. The two get thrown out, however, they both manage to save each other, avoiding escape. Meanwhile, while all that's going on, Gunther lays out Bobby Lashley. Brock hits Gunther with an F5 and then eliminates Lashley. Number 10 is our second return. It is Big E making his way down, and while Brock is still slightly distracted by Lashley, Big E gets his retribution and eliminates the Beast. And then you can have Brock Lesnar and Lashley brawl to the back. And unfortunately, you can have the New Day go after Gunther, but this is where their luck runs out. Xavier Woods and Kofi not too long after getting their moment. Finally, at long last reunited, they unfortunately have to get cut short by the ring general. Gunther eliminates both Woods and Kofi, which you could use this to potentially start a rivalry between Imperium and New Day down the line. Number 11 is the NXT champion Braun Breaker, and then 12 is none other than the one and only Ricochet, which goes after Gunther and just manages to evade elimination. But he has some backup, as in number 13, Braun Strowman comes down to his aid. But it doesn't last long, as number 14 is LA Knight, move which provides just enough distraction, allowing Gunther to eliminate Ricochet. And before LA Knight could potentially get eliminated himself, Gunther eliminates Braun Strowman. Number 15 is the Rattlesnake Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then afterwards, 16 is Johnny Gargano, in which you can have face-off against Cody, LA Knight, and Gunther. I don't believe he has ever faced any of them in his career. I could be wrong, especially with LA Knight. I'm not quite sure. Correct me in the comments below if I am. But number 17 is Sheamus, which goes after, obviously, Gunther. Solo makes his way down next, and following him is none other than Jey Uso, accompanied by Sami Zayn. Now, I will say I wasn't quite sure whether to have all the bloodline come out at once, but with the injury angle they had on Raw, it kind of made this a bit easier, as Jey would be the one entering this match, but Jimmy could be his aide, all at the orders of Roman. And immediately, the bloodline members lay out everyone. Everyone with the exception of Sami. However, Solo shoves Jey away and starts making his way towards Sami, with the intent potentially to attack him, maybe even hit him with the Samoan Spike before he could land anything. Number 20 is Drew McIntyre, and this is where we start to really clear the ring out again. The bloodline has to suffer with Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Gunther before the ring general turns his back on the two men that's fighting alongside him. Gunther eliminates McIntyre, but Sheamus gets a little bit of retribution from his losses against the Ring General and eliminates Gunther before he gets eliminated by Sami Zayn. Solo starts making his way back over to Sami now that they no longer have any interruptions before he winds up getting eliminated, not by Sami, not by Cody, but instead by Braun Breaker. However, for Sami, a little bit of a way to try and further prove his loyalty to the Bloodline, gets revenge for Solo and eliminates Braun Breaker before almost getting eliminated himself by Cody Rhodes, only for the Usos to come to his aid, and unfortunately for the Bloodline, it cost them, as on the way to save Sami from potential elimination, Jey Uso gets thrown out by the American Nightmare, the ring getting completely cleared out. But at number 21 is Finn Balor, the Judgment Day. And to continue what little bit of a story was going on between the Judgment Day and Alpha Academy, Otis comes out next. And to help build with yet another storyline the Judgment Day has been involved in, number 23 is Rey Mysterio. Unfortunately for both men, the Judgment Day make their way down. They wind up helping Finn eliminate Otis and then Dominic Mysterio. Right after Rey sets Finn up for the 619, blasts his father, and eliminates Rey from the Royal Rumble. United States Champion Austin Theory makes his way out next. And here you can have the two cocky heels, Austin Theory and LA Knight, team up against the others. But that wouldn't last too long.
You think you know me?
As Edge makes his return, targeting not only the heels, but especially focusing on Finn Balor and eliminating the Demon Prince. However, unfortunately for the Red Bull Heart, Johnny Gargano, he targets LA Knight and he targets Austin Theory, and for his troubles, he gets thrown out the ring. Austin Theory would not. Seth is the next man out at number 26, and he targets Austin Theory. However, due to Austin having an ally in this match in the form of LA Knight, he gets jumped. And unfortunately for him, as well as Edge and the other faces in this match, number 27 is Baron Corbin, who joins this odd, bizarre alliance before number 28 comes down to do more than just simply even the odds. Ladies and gentlemen, at 28, the Viper, Randy Orton. Now, throughout this Rumble, Sami has been taking a beating, including up to this point. He gets dropped with an RKO and nearly gets eliminated by Baron Corbin. But it seems like luck is on his side throughout this Rumble as well, as every time he nearly gets eliminated, he just barely manages to evade it, including here where Baron Corbin would go and attempt to eliminate the honorary Uso before Corbin gets thrown out himself by none other than Edge. And at number 29 is Bray Wyatt. And before you ask, who is going to be at number 1? Is it going to be the obvious answer? Is it going to be The Rock? Maybe I'm going to show y'all and say, I don't know, Vince McMahon. It's neither. Just wait a moment. I'll get into why at number 30 is not The Rock. Because instead, both for a moment, but also because of story reasons, which I'll get into a little bit more, number 30 is John Cena. John Cena coming out also helps evade the crowd from booing so heavily with the fact that it's not The Rock in the Rumble. But we will see a bit of Dwayne later on. Now that we have all 30 entrants into this Rumble, now it's time for us to get to the eliminations. John Cena eliminates Austin Theory. LA Knight gets another big elimination, taking Edge out. Cody Rhodes and Bray Wyatt, two people with a history with the Viper, team together to eliminate Randy Orton. And here is where the heartbreak comes in. Sami Zayn manages to stand tall over everybody in the ring, and then Roman Reigns comes in with a spear. The Bloodline have officially turned their back on Sami Zayn, or at least due to Roman Reigns forcing their hand. not quite enjoying the fact that he made it this far and seeing not that much use of him at this point. The bloodline come back down at the demands of Roman. Sami gets eliminated and gets beaten down before the bloodline raise hell in the Rumble and beat down every single competitor in the ring. Roman puts Cody in the guillotine while the Usos take care of their former rival, eliminating Big E. Before the Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin drops almost all members of the bloodline with the exception of Roman Reigns before catching a spear. Roman sets Stone Cold up for a second before Bray Wyatt catches him with his sister Abigail before Uncle Howdy makes an appearance. Bray Wyatt eliminates Stone Cold. Uncle Howdy leaves, and Bray Wyatt looks as if he's about to break down before LA Knight, which earlier on in the night, at least according to this fantasy booking video, Bray would win. However, LA Knight gets his revenge here, eliminating the Eater of Worlds, leaving us with our final four: Cody Rhodes, LA Knight, Seth Rollins, and John Cena. Before the Bloodline returns yet again. The Bloodline beats down the four remaining men before...
If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
The Rock comes out and handles the Bloodline, taking out Solo, taking out Jimmy, taking out Jay, before eating a spear just like Stone Cold before him, just like many of the others before him, including Sami Zayn. But then we get to our finish. Cody throws Roman out the ring, nearly getting eliminated himself by LA Knight. And on the other side of the ring, John Cena nearly eliminates Seth Rollins. And LA Knight's luck has came to an end as he and Cena face off for a minute or two. We'll give him a few minutes against John Cena before he's ultimately eliminated, and John Cena quickly follows as John Cena gets eliminated, gets thrown out, gets sent out the ring by the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, and is none other than Seth versus Cody one more time. And after a few minutes of a back and forth, in the end, it is the American Nightmare's night.